Over the last few months, we have taken a look at the 7 most lucrative sales at the likes of Southampton, Porto and Manchester United. We recently saw a suggestion that we should look at leagues rather than clubs though, so today we're going to give that a go. That doesn't mean that the club specific side of things is done and dusted. There are still a few clubs we'd like to look at such as Shakhtar Donetsk and Monaco, but we like the league idea. So if this video does well, we'll probably roll it out for a handful of other divisions, and we've also always got the option of doing each league's most expensive signings as well. Here are the 7 most expensive championship sales. Where are they now? Darren Bent, free agent. In a 7 almost entirely dominated by transfers that have occurred in the last 2 or 3 seasons, unsurprisingly given the huge inflation in transfer fees in that time, Darren Bent is an anomaly in 7th place. Having scored 31 goals in 68 Premier League games for Charlton Athletic, Bent's goal scoring wasn't enough to prevent the Addicts from getting relegated. That summer, he became Tottenham Hotspur's record signing in a deal worth £16.5 million, and Spurs later sold him to Sunderland for the same fee. Bent was released by Derby County over the summer, most recently having turned out for Burton in the Championship on loan. He featured in Sky's Veteran Soccer Sixes tournament recently, but hasn't announced his retirement as of yet. Adama Traore, Wolves. Keeping the likes of Gareth Bale and Xherdan Shaqiri out of this 7, in 6th place is Adama Traore. A real handful on either flank with fantastic acceleration, explosivity and dribbling ability, the question marks surrounding Traore have always been in regards to his decision making and final ball, but he's a nightmare to play against when he's firing on all cylinders. He left losing playoff semi-finalist Middlesbrough for Championship title winners Wolves over the summer in a deal worth a reported £18 million. Traore has since played 21 games and scored 1 goal at Molineux. Alfie Mawson, Fulham. One of a number of big money signings brought in by Fulham over the summer, Alfie Mawson arrived at Craven Cottage for a reported £20 million, which really puts him joint 4th with the man up next. Mawson did fairly well during 2 seasons with Swansea City, but I have to say, I never saw a £20 million centre half in him, which is considerably more than Leicester paid for Harry Maguire. Mawson has been restricted to just 13 Premier League appearances this season due to injuries, and his Fulham side have by far the worst defensive record in the division. James Maddison, Leicester City. Another player who swapped the Championship for the Premier League in a deal worth £20 million over the summer, James Maddison has had a much greater impact upon England's top flight this season. The 22-year-old made a flying start to the campaign, doing well to manage the expectations of a player brought in to replace the attacking output of Riyad Mahrez. Maddison previously played for Norwich in the Championship, where he scored a mightily impressive 14 goals last season, but the Canaries have flourished this season in his absence. Georginio Wijnaldum, Liverpool. A player who we only recently spoke about in our look at Newcastle United's 7 most lucrative sales, Georginio Wijnaldum is Newcastle's most expensive signing of the Mike Ashley era. Brought in really as an offensive midfielder, having scored plenty of goals for PSV in the Netherlands, Wijnaldum ended the season as Newcastle's top scorer, but the club were unable to avoid relegation to the Championship. Jurgen Klopp brought him to Anfield in a deal worth £25 million including add-ons, where Wijnaldum has since gone on to become a more functional and less of a luxury player, typically deployed as part of an energetic and box-to-box midfield 3. Jordan Pickford, Everton. At the age of 24, Everton's Jordan Pickford has already been through a lot. From the mixed emotions of becoming a first-team regular but suffering relegation with your boyhood club in the same season, to becoming Everton's Player of the Year, England's shootout hero in Russia, and then crashing swiftly back down to earth this season, having made a number of high-profile errors. Pickford has shown that he is a talented goalkeeper, but he sometimes plays with too much emotion, and that can lead to mistakes. He is the 2nd most expensive Championship sale of all time, having joined Everton from Sunderland for an initial £25 million, plus a future £5 million in add-ons. Moussa Sissoko, Tottenham. The most expensive Championship player sale of all time, Jordan Pickford would actually cost the same amount as Moussa Sissoko should he trigger all of his necessary add-ons at Everton, but Moussa Sissoko cost Tottenham £13 million from Newcastle, regardless of add-ons. I just wanted to clear that up, because there'd definitely be someone who'd point out in the comments. The former Toulouse midfielder had spent 3.5 years at St James's Park, where his form had tended to fluctuate, and most Magpies fans were amazed that the club got as much money as they did for him. Sissoko's first 2 seasons at Spurs weren't really reflective of a £30 million footballer, but this season has been much more like it. The leggy Frenchman has been a dominant force in Mauricio Pochettino's midfield, so much so that they looked a little bit lost without him following his injury against Manchester United. So that's it for Hour 7. Thanks for watching, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for more from us if you enjoyed the video, and you can now also follow us on Twitter for more ramblings from me. Our username is simply @HITC Sevens.